Tonight on KHQ Local News, Fallen Heroes. A look at how the state mourns the loss of 3 firefighters and thanks them for their sacrifice. Plus fire mode, the latest information on the fires burning in our region. And SWAT standoff deja vu. Twice in one day, law enforcement in Spokane dealing with situations. We'll have those stories as KHQ Local News starts right now.
This is KHQ Local News.
You know, there were 3 young men who knew that they were having the time of their lives. They all had this desire to be a part of something special. The wildland firefighter community. Tom, Rick, and Andrew truly will forever be a part of who we are.
Honoring these 3 fallen heroes, today hundreds gathered to pay tribute to Rick Wheeler, Tom Bashevsky, and Andrew Zajac. As their friends and family mourn their loss, thousands more across the state will always remember them for the sacrifices that they made to keep us safe. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Caitlin Reardon. A memorial was held for these fallen heroes today in Wenatchee, where hundreds came to pay their respects and say their final goodbyes. We aired that service today on KHQ. If you didn't get a chance to see it, here's a look back. A sad day across the state as we remember the 3 fallen heroes who gave their lives to keep us and our families safe. Today, hundreds gathered to remember the sacrifice that Tom Bashevsky, Andrew Zajac, and Richard Wheeler made. Hundreds of people poured into the Toyota Center in Wenatchee, the room filled with emotions of sorrow for the fallen men and joy in remembering the lives they led. Tom Bashevsky's parents spoke of how their son made such an impact on their lives.
Before Tom was born, I thought it was parents that taught their children about life. But it didn't take very many days into Tom's life when I realized that I was actually going to learn from him.
So Tom was the light of my life, and my path, I'm afraid, will always be a little bit darker because I'll miss him so much.
One thing these 3 men had in common was their love of the outdoors and their passion for helping people. Rick Wheeler's friend, a fellow Forest Service firefighter, was able to speak on behalf of their family about the bond that they shared.
The brotherhood that we have as wildland firefighters truly meant something to Wheeler. And I'm sure that someday we'll have those beers you and I talked about.
It's always a tragedy when a parent outlives their child. Speaking with a broken heart, Andrew Zajac's mother looked toward a brighter future.
I am sure there will be beauty, there will be laughter, and there will be profound peace around one of the corners in this trail of life. To the firefighters in this room, you have my utmost respect.
Rest in peace. A very sad scene there today, and right now people are continuing to honor the 3 fallen heroes in the town of Twisp. At this hour, people are gathering for a candlelight vigil for Tom Bashevsky, Andrew Zajac, and Rick Wheeler. And it's happening in Twisp, where the 3 tragically lost their lives. Purple ribbons have been hung up all around town. Katie Chen joins us live from there right now. Katie, what's the mood like?
Caitlin, it has been an emotional evening out here at Twisp Park, and the vigil is actually still going on right now. They are actually in the middle of a prayer, and it again has been emotional. And Tom Bashevsky was actually from Twisp, so it really hits home for this community. Let me just actually show you right behind me a live look at what is going on. And Amy Budrow actually organized this event and says it's an opportunity to support one another, especially when these firefighters died in their hometown. She says she knew Tom Bashevsky well because he worked with her kids. Her heart has been hurting for his family as well as the families of the other fallen firefighters.
We endured so much last year. We have endured so much this year. I know that we are a strong, proud community. We'll make it through this and be better than ever. But our hearts really are just hurting for all of those who have lost so much.
Now you can actually see some of the flashlights that are out here, and they're just shining them in honor of these 3 fallen firefighters. And Amy also told me that she wants to thank not only firefighters, but all first responders, including law enforcement, as well as employees of the Public Utility District for all of their hard work. She says they're all heroes in her eyes. Reporting live in Twisp, Katie Chen, KHQ Local News.
Katie, thank you. And our thoughts and prayers go out to the family and friends who are grieving the losses of these 3 brave men. Thank you to all of them and to all of the other men and women who are keeping us safe. If you didn't get to see the memorial service, but you would like to, we've posted the entire thing on KHQ.com. On the fire lines today, firefighters say that thankfully the winds weren't as bad as they were expecting, and because of the light sprinkling of rain, there wasn't a lot of movement on the fire fronts. Regardless, the Okanagan Complex fire continues to grow. It's burning around several towns in Okanagan, including Twisp, Riverside, and Omak. The fire grew about 2,000 acres since yesterday, and it's still just over 300,000 acres. Crews do have it 25% contained right now, and they're working to build and reinforce the fire lines in their efforts to protect homes and power sources. And 12 miles north of Nespelem, evacuation levels from the North Star fire have not changed despite the weather. It has burned more than 200,000 acres and is only 22% contained. Firefighters are focusing on protecting the town of Republic and communities along the Highway 21 corridor. And near Fruitland, crews have been able to reevaluate their approach in attacking the Carpenter Road fire thanks to the wetter weather. The Carpenter Road fire has now grown to more than 65,000 acres, but the good news is they have a much better handle on it. It's now 35% contained. And we can't get to all of the fires in our region, but you will be able to see the latest figures running at the bottom of your screen. And if you'd like more detailed information, you could just head to our website, KHQ.com. We have the up-to-the-minute details on all of the fires, the evacuations, the shelters, you name it. It's all on there. There is a special fire mode section, and that is on KHQ.com on our homepage. Now, while those fires are still a handful for firefighters across the region, today's weather should have helped out at least a little bit. We're seeing our first bit of measurable rain, and Ryan Overton is joining us now in the Weather Center. Ryan, how much rain did we actually get?
Probably not as much as people would like to hear. Only 0.13 inches in the inland northwest, so really not making a whole lot of difference. But the good news is this next week going to be drier, wetter and calmer weather as we head through the middle and end of this coming week. We've been dealing with the winds once again today. They've been breezy. We've seen gusts again today above 30 miles an hour across the inland northwest. Those winds right now between about 13 miles an hour, Spokane, Coeur d'Alene, down towards the Tri-Cities, Walla Walla, still a little gusty down there between about 15 and 20 miles per hour on those gusts. But the good news is, as we head overnight, those winds going to continue to calm down to be about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Now, we've also been tracking some thunderstorms into the northern counties of Washington, Idaho. You can see just out towards Troy, Bonners Ferry, the Sandpoint region, several thunderstorms made their way through the region. The good news is this hour, most of those thunderstorms had quite a bit of rain associated with that, so no dry lightning in any of these thunderstorms, and these showers starting to quiet down, but there's another chance of showers on the way, and we'll be talking about that coming up in a few minutes. Caitlin?
All right, Ryan, thank you. And right now, power companies across the region are trying to restore power to thousands of families. 13,000 homes are affected right now because of things like power pole fires and weather-related causes. Now, they're working to find out what other issues there are, and they're trying to get those lights back on. In a crime tracker alert now, a man is in the Spokane County Jail after deputies say he held a woman hostage, leading to a standoff this afternoon. Deputies say that 20-year-old Nicholas Smith holed himself up in a house on the 200 block of North Blake and would not let a woman who was with him leave. At one point, the woman tried to escape, but deputies say that Smith dragged her back inside. That's when the SWAT team forced entry into the house, safely freed her, and took Smith into custody. Smith was not injured during the incident and apologized as he was placed in handcuffs. He has been charged with unlawful imprisonment. Spokane police responding to a standoff on Cortland and Pittsburgh in North Spokane today. They arrived on scene and were there for a few hours. In the end, 2 people did come out with their hands up, but it's still unclear if either of them are facing any charges at this time. Still much more to come right here on KHQ Local News, and new details about the shooting death of a deputy in Texas, why investigators believe the man targeted him. Plus, back to school, look ahead at the school week. Plus, Gonzaga is setting a new personal record. That's coming up next.
For all you do, for putting your lives on the line to keep us safe. For all the firefighters in the Inland Northwest fighting wildfires, thank you from KHQ.
Back to school for the Spokane Public School District. Tomorrow is the first day for kids in the area to get back to hitting the books. But this could be a short week for the kids. Right now, school workers are in negotiations with the district. And if a deal can't be reached by midnight on Thursday, they will strike on Friday. Spokane Public Schools aren't the only ones heading back to school. This is the new freshman class at Gonzaga. Gonzaga is welcoming the largest entering class in the university's 128-year history with more than 1,300 freshmen. Classes begin on September 1st. And things a little cooler out there with the rain that came down throughout the day. Ryan Overton joining us now in the Weather Center. And Ryan, these cool temperatures sticking around, right?
Yeah, they are sticking around all week long, which is great news for the folks fighting the fires on the front lines. That will help, plus chances of showers on and off throughout the week. But take a look at this, something we haven't really seen in a while. We've seen those hazy skies, the smoky conditions, the moon. Look at that moonrise over the top of the buildings over downtown Spokane.
Well, new information tonight about the shooting death of a Texas deputy. Investigators believe the officer was targeted simply because he was in uniform. Goforth had just finished filling up with gas, and surveillance cameras captured what happened next. Investigators say Shannon Miles shot him in the back and kept shooting even after Goforth was down. Miles now faces capital murder charges. Goforth is being remembered as a hero and leaves behind a wife and 2 children. Around the world tonight, a 5th person has been arrested in connection to the deaths of 71 migrants whose bodies were found in an abandoned truck in Austria. The latest suspect was identified as a Bulgarian citizen. 3 Bulgarians and 1 Afghan citizen are already under arrest pending an investigation in Hungary. They face up to 16 years in prison for trafficking in Hungary, plus murder charges in Austria. Incredibly, no one was seriously hurt after a tanker exploded on a Florida highway. The whole ordeal was caught on dash cam. Take a look on the left. The truck crashes into the guardrail and then the cab explodes, creating a massive fireball and sending plumes of smoke into the air. Traffic was backed up for hours, and it's still just shocking that no one was hurt. Well, don't go anywhere. Sports is up next.